everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPhone 16 Pro Max and compare it against the iPhone 11 Pro Max and see which particular iPhone is a better one for you. Now, this is the thing I can definitely tell you. For the everyday average person, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is going to be a significantly better phone than the iPhone 11 Pro Max. The 11 Pro Max is one of those iPhones that came out many years ago, but it really does not make any sense at all to go and buy that phone unless you're looking for a phone on a budget or one of those types of devices. Other than that, I probably would sway you into buying something like an iPhone 16 Pro Max in my personal opinion. So if you want to pick up either one of these phones or some phones in between for the cheapest prices that I can find, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both of these phones, they're both very interesting devices when it kind of comes down to it. So the iPhone 11 Pro Max, which came out back in 2019, basically 2019, that phone was essentially giving you a pretty good build quality. On the front, it was a 6.5-inch Super Retina OLED display. So that in and of itself was a very interesting type of panel just because it was a little bit, it was a bigger size panel than a lot of the predecessors, but it was the same size as the iPhone XS Max, which is something that was kind of cool going on. And this was actually the last 6.5-inch iPhone Apple made for a while. We're getting closer there with a 6.3-inch iPhone 16 Pro. 60Hz panel, no always-on display, nothing like that. Didn't really get super bright either, but it was a good basic panel for the most part. Now with the iPhone 16 Pro Max, this is a completely different story. This is a 6.9-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. It's an LTPO panel as well. It has a couple things going for it. Number one, it's already the biggest panel I think Apple's ever made on an iPhone. On top of that, this type of display was really nice. You're getting the dynamic island, which that in of itself was a super cool thing going on for that type of phone. You're getting things like very thin bezels around it. It has a ProMotion display, which is really beautiful to have inside of this type of phone. And it's giving you an always-on display as well. So that right there, there's already a lot of nice and cool things going on for the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And I definitely will tell you from that side, it is a very good panel for sure. On the sides of both these phones, they're both flat. The iPhone 16 Pro Max is giving you that action button on the top left, and it's also giving you that camera button on the right side of that particular phone as well, which is kind of an interesting thing going on for that type of device too. Now on the bottom, the iPhone 11 Pro Max is giving you that Lightning port, which is always nice to have, but the iPhone 16 Pro Max is giving you that USB Type-C port. This is in and of itself just another really big asset for that type of device. And if you're going to go through and pick up a phone, I personally love having a phone that's going to be giving me that, USB Type-C port, and it is so much better than the Lightning port, but still Lightning is fine, but that USB-C port is something that I personally love inside of my phones here. So that right there is another big asset. On the backside, you're getting frosted glass backs on both, which again is a very nice thing to have. You're getting triple camera setups on the top left. You're getting MagSafe capability on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. You're getting wireless charging on both. And, there's a lot of overlap and a lot of similarity between both these devices, which is always nice to have. But definitely, without a doubt, if you're going to go through and look at a device, I would probably tell you in almost every single way, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is going to be a more superior phone on the outside. Really, the only way the iPhone 11 Pro Max is kind of better is probably with the price tag. Because it has been out for like 5 years now, it is significantly cheaper to go ahead and buy than the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So if you're trying to go through and pick up a phone, without a doubt the iPhone 11 Pro Max is probably going to be more available, and it's going to be an overall cheaper phone to go ahead and buy than something like the iPhone 16 Pro Max as well. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there a little bit as well. Now when it comes down to the camera side of things, both of these phones are basically giving you triple camera setups. So that's always a nice thing to have, although they are very different types of cameras. They both have wide ultra-wide telephoto lenses, but the big thing to keep in mind here is that with the iPhone 11 Pro Max, this phone really isn't giving you too many features built in. It has 0.5x zoom, which is nice, but it's also only giving you 2x zoom and basically the max it can kind of zoom out with. With the iPhone 16 Pro Max, this phone is giving you 0.5x zoom, but also 5x zoom. There's substantially more zooming in that you can basically do inside of that phone, which that in and of itself is another very nice thing going on for that type of device as well, which I personally love having. When I have a phone like this, I just love having that type of capability, which is really cool. Now, on top of those things, another very big thing to keep in mind here too is the fact that the iPhone 16 Pro Max is giving you 48 megapixel macro photography, 4K at 120 frames per second on the back of that phone, spatial photos and videos, and they're also giving you things like cinematic mode, the spatial mode, which is really cool. And I definitely will tell you, even having that camera button, although I think it's mostly a gimmick, it still is a really nice thing to have, and I actually do really appreciate that as well. So I'll probably tell you from the camera side, although nothing is really perfect here, if you're going to go through and like pick up a camera or pick up a phone, I definitely do like having a device like the iPhone 16 Pro Max because it is substantially better. I think the 11 Pro Max is still okay for the most part, but if we're talking sheer camera quality, the 16 Pro Max is way better here without a doubt. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there as well. Now on top of that, another very big thing to go, kind of keep in mind here too is software longevity. Almost in every single way you can imagine, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is going to be a phone that's going to last way longer than the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So if you're going to go through and pick up a device, that is kind of the one that's going to be the better one here, probably for the everyday average person. And that is the really nice thing going on for that type of phone. Because you're spending more money, it's going to be a longer lasting phone. I would say the iPhone 11 Pro Max is still giving you a good amount of, performance for the most part for the future of this phone. Meaning that you're still going to be getting software support here and there. Like it's still going to be supported with software. It might get iOS, 19, might be one of those devices that gets it. But I generally don't think, probably for the everyday average person, I really don't think it's going to be one of those devices that's going to last that long. It's probably going to last like another year or two. Then it's pretty much done. With the iPhone 16 Pro Max, it's just getting started. So I think that there's another really big thing and a really big asset for the iPhone 16 Pro Max as well. In terms of battery life, Apple rates the iPhone 11 Pro Max of giving you up to 20 hours of video playback, where the iPhone 16 Pro Max is 33 hours of video playback. And I can even just tell you from the just basic, battery test that I've done, once again, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is going to be one of those devices that's just going to be an overall better performing device than the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So that right there, I think, is another very big thing going on for that type of phone as well. Like if you're going to go through and pick up a device, it just kind of makes sense to go and buy something once again, like the iPhone 11 Pro Max, just because it's going to perform that much better in my personal opinion. So even performance-wise, you're going from the Apple A13 Bionic chip to the Apple A18 Pro chip on the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and you're getting twice the amount of RAM on the iPhone 16 Pro Max as well. So those things are very big things to keep in mind here. Like if you're going to go through once again and pick up a phone, it is crucial and integral to basically have a device like that on the iPhone 16 Pro Max that's so much faster and performs so much better than the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So what I can definitely tell you, and to kind of sum up this whole entire comparison, if you're going to go through and pick up a phone, it kind of just makes a lot more sense to go and buy something like an iPhone 16 Pro Max, right? That's kind of the easy answer. That is a way better phone in almost every single angle. And I can't really think of a way where the iPhone 11 Pro Max is better besides price tag. The price and the availability of the iPhone 11 Pro Max is one of the better features, I would say, for that device. It's not faster, it's not better, it's not a better deal, but it's a good phone for the price. If you're talking about a better deal, an iPhone 13 Pro Max I think is a really good deal. That's a way better deal than both of these phones. With the 13 Pro Max, you're getting a really good display, ProMotion, fast phone, great cameras, really good phone overall. I think the 14 Pro Max is also very, very good as well, but I don't really think I would recommend anyone to buy the 11 Pro Max anymore. It just genuinely does not make any sense, and that's kind of what I think about this particular phone. So if you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.